Yeah. So I don't know if you've heard about this, but China has now been banning iPhones. So by state employees. So I'm going to read this article. This is kind of new stuff, but not to say that we sort of didn't see it coming as far as the moving into the next phase of the Cold War type thing. But here we go. Why is China banning officials and state employees from using iPhones? Beijing is taking aim at Apple devices in the latest salvo in the US-China tech war. This is an article by Al Jazeera. If you're familiar with Al Jazeera, they're actually a pretty decent um, news organization. Um, if you want to get the more of the Europe um, approach to a story, read it from these guys. They're not too bad. So it's funny when you read them in contrast to like CNN or MSNBC or something like that. But okay, China is reportedly barring government officials and employees at state-owned enterprises from using iPhones. The Wall Street Journal on Thursday reported that Beijing had issued a directive barring central government officials from using the Apple devices. On Friday, Bloomberg reported that the ban also covered government-backed agencies and state companies. It would be expanded to a wide range of government-controlled organizations. China's moves, which have now been announced on official channels, are the latest salvo in the ongoing trade and tech war between Washington and Beijing. Okay, so why ban the iPhone and why now? While bad news for Apple and a potential omen for Western tech companies generally, the bans have not come as a total surprise to China watchers. The United States and China have taken steps to reduce their economic reliance on each other as the two sides increasingly prioritize alleged national security concerns over investment and trade. I think part of this too would be that there could be a move sort of to India and things like this. And this obviously, when you see the whole thing with Russia and China kind of becoming bum chums, that now it's China's going to start to push away from American companies. Again, you could tie this to the whole microchip thing. Um, there's a lot of different ways to look at this, and the reason why this might be happening now. Uh, oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, exactly. We ban Hawaii, and they ban Apple. A little tit for tat. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point, Joe. Um, yeah. So it's that's what you see with the Cold War, this kind of thing, right? You see these little moves. I mean, this is probably not great timing for China in general. They're in the midst of what looks like a 2008 housing bubble over there. So they start messing around with big companies like Apple that utilize them to make most of everything, most of all their products. Suddenly, if Apple pulls factories and starts putting them in India and things like that, it might not be very good for a struggling economy over in China, or a bloated bubble economy that they're going through right now. So okay, so Beijing has ramped up efforts to lessen its dependence on foreign technology and prop up domestic companies, including Shenzhen-based Huawei, whose new $1,200 Mate 60 Pro smartphone has been described by tech analysts as giving the iPhone a run for its money. Bank of America has noted the interesting timing of the iPhone ban given the recent launch of the Mate 60 Pro. Limiting personal use of iPhones, which could access local networks and collect environmental data, aligns with the government's commitment to bolster cybersecurity. Excuse me. Jim Lee, China analyst with the Economist Intelligence Unit, told Al Jazeera. China has been trying since at least 2016 to close cybersecurity loopholes with new laws and regulations, but technological limitations had hampered its efforts until recent. Okay, so this article goes on for a little while. Here we go. What does the iPhone ban mean for China? The ban will not prevent everyday Chinese citizens from buying the soon-to-be-released iPhone 15 and other Apple products, but it does emphasize the growing tension between Beijing's desire for control and China's economic future. Companies, including Apple, were already shifting production and investment away from China, but the ban may accelerate that trend. Exactly what I just said. So this might not be great for them. This might be kind of like a shoot yourself in the foot a little bit move here, but you know, the sinking ship's taking water on in all areas. So maybe this housing bubble that they're looking at, this or I should say just building bubble, because it's not just related to housing, it's also commercial properties and such, could spill over into, some other economic problems with, you know things like this, where you're you know you're banning iPhones and starting to now try to get your independence from the US, but you know that that just might be the thing that pushes them a little bit further over the edge. So yeah, we'll have to see, I guess.